Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, being joined here with Eddie Hearn as he has a card this weekend in Las Vegas, the first one at the new Fontainebleau Resort, where one of the top fighters at 140 pounds, Richardson Hitchinson, is going to be on the card along with another 168-pound stalwart who's making his way up the ranks in Diego Pacheco. Eddie, how are we, my man, coming into this card this weekend?
Yeah, I'm good. It's this place, Fontainebleau, top. I
Top.
mean, the best hotel in Las Vegas. It's the first boxing event here, the first sporting event. It's just recently opened, and looking forward to a good card. You know, we've got a lot of fighters on this card who are looking to become superstars, world championship fights as well. And you know, for Richardson and Diego, particularly like the main event and the co-main, two big stars of US boxing, looking to really make statements.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting topics surrounding those two fighters in divisions. Richardson is an IBF title eliminator at 140 pounds. We saw over the weekend a new WBA 140-pound champion be crowned in Pitbull Cruz. What'd you make of that fight, Eddie, against Pitbull and Rolly?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure how Rolly ever became a world champion, to be honest with you, but fair play to him. I mean, and you have to respect him. Like, he made his money, like he got it. And the one thing you can't deny about Rolly, he's got plenty of heart. I mean, he got absolutely battered. He never actually went down, which was the most amazing thing, because he was out on his feet about 5 or 6 times in the fight, you know? So, um, I, we have a guy in Subriel Matias. He has a very tough fight coming up against Liam Paro. But if he comes through that fight, Pitbull Cruz against Subriel Matias is one of the best fights in boxing. You know, Mexico against Puerto Rico. Cruz, you saw that I think I wasn't there, but as I understand it, the best atmosphere of the night was for Isaac Cruz, you know, so he's establishing himself. And if they want to do a unification, that's definitely something we'd look at. But, you know, Rolly will be back. I don't think Rolly's good enough to compete at world championship level, but he's a great character, fun guy, plenty of heart. Good luck to him.
Yeah, you guys signed Subriel Matias, and I know given his reputation, he's not a guy a lot of people want to fight. Are you confident, or is there a hope there that you can make fights with Subriel, with Hitchinson, with Pitbull Cruz, and the other 140-pound champions?
Yeah, I think firstly, if you have ambition to be a unified or undisputed champ, you have to go through the champions. And real fighters do want to fight the champions. Devin Haney, I think he'd fight Subriel Matias. You know, I hope that Isaac Cruz wants to unify. Richardson, I know, will fight him, you know. And again, like, he's got a tough fight against Paro, but we're going to see how good Matias is against Liam Paro, because he can really fight. And, you know, there's a huge amount of hype coming behind Matias from the boxing world. Like, there's not every time you mention his name, the media, boxing fans, people who work in the sport go, that guy's a beast. So, you know, we'll see in Puerto Rico on June 15th.
Yeah, I had a chance to sit down with Pitbull, and I asked him, like, hey, what are your plans for 140? What do you want to do? What's the biggest, best fight you feel for you given this win? And he told me there's 2 fights that I want out of any of them. One is Teofimo Lopez, and the other one is Subriel Matias.
Well, if he wants it, let's make it happen. You know, I mean, there's I just said then, you know, not just blowing our trumpet, but there isn't a big fight scheduled now for the foreseeable future that isn't on DAZN. You know, even Munguia against Canelo Alvarez is live on DAZN. And I feel like that format, that structure where we can go to the PBC and say, do you want to do a massive fight? Isaac Cruz against Subriel Matias. We can do it on Amazon, and DAZN can also broadcast it. You've already done it with Canelo Munguia. Like, that's going to be a successful model. We can make those kind of fights. So hopefully they'd be willing to do stuff like that. You know, maybe they want to feed him back to Tank. I don't know. But listen, that's a massive fight, and it's certainly one that would do great numbers.
Yeah, that's a violent fight too, man. You would think
Very.
either one or the other is going to go, if not both, go to the hospital after that fight. From what you saw of Pitbull Cruz, has he improved? Does he?
He's just a rugged guy. Like, he's just,
yeah.
You know, certain styles are going to be no good for him, but he's always going to be competitive. He's got good heart. He's got good power. He's a tough guy. You know, And even when you're schooling him, he's dangerous. You know, you saw that with Javonte. You know, rough to start off with, while you're sort of dealing with him, almost like a ball and with a matador. And then once you control him and you tire him out and you work him to the body and you slow him down, he's a little bit more controllable. But he's always going to be in the fight. You know, he's an exciting fighter.
Now, yeah, and he's breathing a new life into this 140 division, which is now becoming like the money division. It was 135. The guys are starting to move up now. 140 is the division. Speaking of 140, you know, Devin and Ryan, I know this fight is a huge fight for DAZN on pay-per-view. What do you make of the criticism coming out on the pricing of the fight, given the undercard?
I mean, the pay-per-view price is pretty much in line with any big fight in America. It is a big fight. You know, I think a lot of people felt like it might not happen. And now with just over 2 weeks to go, people are starting to realize, oh my God, he's actually going to make it. And
Were you worried at all that it wasn't
I was. I mean, I think it's different. I'm just about to go and see Devin now. And I think it must have been quite difficult for Devin Haney, because maybe he was thinking, is this fight actually going to happen? You know, and now you'd have to think it is. And, you know, maybe Ryan's looking great in the gym. I think it's going to be a good, exciting fight. I mean, I think fight week's going to be wild in New York, because Ryan's going to be under a microscope from the media. And you've seen him, you know, act differently, if you like, in the build up to this fight. But maybe he's in a good place. You know, maybe he's happy to speak his mind and he feels like that's what he's doing. So I expect a great fight in New York.
Yeah, I saw you in one of his spaces, and you know, you heard some of the things he said. What do you make of the things he has said in the build-up to this promotion?
I haven't really understood a lot of what he said or what he's getting at. He's definitely behaved erratically, and he's definitely never behaved like this before. But sometimes, you know, freedom of speech and being yourself and saying what you want to say can sometimes lead you to, you know, freedom, if you like. And maybe he's in a good place because he feels like he can say whatever he wants now and what's on his mind, rather than, I don't know. You know, I don't know him well enough, really, but the times that I've met him, he's certainly very different now to how he was when I previously met him. So I don't know, but I hope that, and I'm sure this is the case, that he's got people that are genuine enough around him. They wouldn't let him go into this fight if he wasn't ready. You know, Derek James, Oscar, Bernard, his parents. You know, that I hope, and I'm pretty sure they care enough to not let him go into a fight where he's not 100%. So I'm sure he's ready.
Some people have likened this to Devin's Mayweather Gotti moment, and they said like, hey, he's been channeling a lot of the same rhetoric that Floyd was saying about Arturo Gotti in the buildup to that fight. Devin feels this is going to be a complete whitewash. It's a mismatch. Ryan shouldn't even be in the ring with him. The only reason he's in the ring with him is because he has a big name. But they feel that he's going to be dominant from the first round up until if it ends early or to a decision. Do you see that same type of fight, Eddie?
Yeah, I think I'm not, whitewash is a strong word. You know, I think he'll be very dominant in the fight. You don't really know, again, where Ryan's at, but if Ryan's at his best, he's going to be competitive. You know, he can punch hard. He's got good reactions. He's actually got a good style to take on Devin Haney, but Devin is so focused, so razor sharp. I think he's much better at 140 pounds, and I expect him to win the rounds to break him down. I do think he'll stop Ryan Garcia in New York.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, I do. Very confident.
Okay, so a fan would hear this and say, Eddie, we know that Haney hasn't gotten a knockout in how long? How is he going to knock out Ryan? Right. Tank couldn't even knock out Ryan on the chin.
He had Regis hurt and down. He's molding into 140 pounds. He punches a lot harder. His timing's good. And if Ryan gets desperate and makes mistakes, he's gonna land flush. And if he does, again, you know, we'll see how good the preparation's been from Ryan Garcia. But I personally believe he'll stop Ryan Garcia.
Man, that'd be kind of nuts, honestly. Seeing that happen over there in New York.
Depends on the fight that Ryan Garcia fights. If he's cagey, maybe not. But if he's aggressive, which he has to be, in this fight, then there's every chance he can get stopped.
Like, could he out? No, yeah, I'm not even gonna say it.